everyone. It's that time, the best time of the week, because once again, we have gone way past the edge of the board game, and we have gone way past the edge, beyond the edge of exile. My name's Jason, and I'm very pleased once again to be joined tonight by my partner in crime, but we're not admitting to doing any crimes, Jeffrey Pacito. Jeffrey, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and I guess I could be your partner in rhyme, but I don't think anyone wants to hear us sing right now, or
No, probably not.
flow as we can flow, which we can't really. So yeah, no.
Although we were going to do a musical collaboration at one point. We're talking about it literally
We
the
were?
day of the old announcement of the old
Indeed,
company
we
shutting
were.
down. We were working on, because you had seen my music video, my parody joke video I did
Yep.
with my staff up here in the north for the Baruch is on Fire music video, which if you haven't seen it, it's Billboard Top 100. I don't know how you missed it.
It is.
But
It is. It's
and,
yeah.
and then we were going to collaborate. I don't even know what project you had in mind, but we were going to do something fun. And
Yep.
and it just didn't wind up
I,
happening because everything
I think it
else
was a
happened
"We Are the
instead.
Champions" thing.
Right. So some happy news
Yeah.
for everybody watching at home right now. I do not hear my voice blasting in my ears. And here's the crazy thing. I didn't change a single setting from last week's nightmare of a video. But when I turned OBS on tonight, it magically all worked, which usually goes the other way. So I'll take it. I'll take the win tonight. The easy win. Just plugged everything in
Yeah.
and it worked great. So I am
Yeah.
very
That's not.
excited.
It's not common. So take that. Take it when you can.
Right? Every now and then things work out in your favor. It's like, oh, that feels good. So hi to everybody
Well,
out there in TV land. It's nice to see all of you here tonight, Mr. Eccentric, the eccentric Mr. Fish, Mr. Alex, 21
mhm.
Alex, Jason Greenberg, Damien. Obviously we're here as well. That's everybody I see so far, but God knows the chat picked up good the last few weeks, so I'm sure we'll see lots of other names.
Well, we're getting a little highbrow now. If you notice, there's two misters in our feed. I'm waiting to see a doctor or a sir or something else like that. But we've got
I'm
two misters in the feed now.
I'm pretty impressed with that. We're getting more and more classy as the weeks go on, which is exciting.
Yep.
Speaking of the weeks
We
going
put the
on,
you know what in class.
speaking of the weeks going on, I don't know if you noticed, Jeff, but our title for this week's episode is only
I
9
did.
weeks left until invasion.
I know. I
That's a
know.
surreal
It's
thing to say out loud.
oh, I
9
know. I
weeks.
can't wait.
And that's like 9
I
weeks until
cannot
it's
wait.
in stores, available
Yeah.
all around.
Oh my
Everybody's going to be
God.
able to
I'm
buy
so
it.
excited.
Feels very good to say it out loud, you know? Oh, I
But
think Jeff might have froze. Wait, he's coming back. There he is. He's
oh,
back.
did I?
Yeah, you
Okay.
froze, but go ahead. Say whatever clever thing you
Yeah.
had lined up.
All that time we put into retooling it, reconfiguring it, retesting it, making sure that it worked the way we wanted it to kind of lead us forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Well worth it, I think. I'm so excited. I can't wait for it to get into people's hands and hear what they think of it. So excited for that.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the amount of change and progress and like tweaking and making it better that we were able to get done in such a short period of time. And we're still hitting a 2023 release date. So I'm very, very
Yeah.
happy. I couldn't be
Well,
happier with the progress.
and starter decks. That was
And
not even
starter
on the
decks.
table before, right? That wasn't even a thought.
A whole extra ancillary product available at the same time. Feels really good. And we haven't really talked about it, but there's also new playmats that exist now. So we'll be
Yeah.
getting some of them to local game stores so that they have really nice looking new playmats with the new logos when they're doing demo nights and stuff like that at their stores. So that'll be exciting.
I like those playmats, Jason, because they're simple but elegant. They're not trying to overdo it. They're not trying to do anything like that. They're very, well, like you were saying, very professional, very, like I said, the misters who are joining us and all that. It just feels really good. They feel like the right fit for it.
Yeah, I like the way the progress that we're making, and I like the trends that we're taking on. It's good. So
yeah, I'm gonna add John's name to the list here just because I like
so
adding
if
the
John
names.
wins because John works for us, then what do? We just double the prizes and give it to the next person?
I was just going to give it to the next person, but we can double it and give it to the next person. Actually, maybe we should talk about that, Jason, because here I am talking about a wheel and adding names. Some of these people know, some don't. So what we do every week is we try and give away something. Currently, we're giving away stuff from the history of Genesis Battle of Champions because that's what is available right now. So I think Welcome to Jalara. We're going to give away a pack of Welcome to Jalara this week to one lucky contestant. All you have to do is type in the chat. Just say, yo, like Mr. Fish did, the eccentric Mr. Fish, who's not very eccentric from just saying the word yo, but that's cool. I think that's the eccentricity, is only saying yo, which is perfect. That's all you need to do, and you get entered in that draw. So very good odds right now. There's 5 people in there, and one of them cannot win. So that's pretty good.
Janice, I need some tech support for a minute. Sorry. I need some tech support for a minute. Sorry.
Is everything still going good with the stream?
Oh yeah, it's just my drink ended and I have a cough, and if I don't have more liquid, I might cough through the whole episode. So that's technical support.
Amazing what passes for tech support nowadays, eh?
Hey man, yeah, this is my job. So,
You may have to provide more tech support down the road, Jason. Can I show you something that's on my phone here, or do you want me to show this later?
I don't know what's on it, but if you, oh, hey, whoa, don't do that. I don't know what's on your phone, but yeah, if you want to show it, go right ahead.
So I have this fancy little thing here.
Oh, that thing.
I
That's
think you
very
can see
cool.
it. It's right
Yep.
in front of my face, which is good. And when I tap like one of these things here that says choose a champion, and I
Yeah.
click on a name, I now have some numbers here that I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
adjust. And I can't see what I'm typing, so hopefully you guys see numbers moving around and stuff.
Yep.
And I will also like to show you, there it is, there's the other one.
One being for
This one.
iOS and one being for
Yep.
Android. Yep.
Yep. So here's our iOS one. You just saw the Android one.
Yep.
And again, same idea. You got your pluses and minuses here. And I will be releasing them once they pass muster in the app stores for both. And you'll be able to keep track of you and your opponent's scores, your health and your aura. Something from us ourselves to keep track of it. There's some other
Well,
great apps out there too. There's even generic apps out there that are wonderful, but we wanted to have something that came with our branding and badging on it for a simple tool like this.
and equally important, your updated version that you're going to be releasing sooner or later will also have all the presets in it for all the new champions, so you don't have to manually type them
Yes,
in.
yes, indeed. Yep. Right now, it's got everything up to and including Origins, and then we will be adding Invasion. Hopefully, day and date when that releases. But any of you who have ever worked in the app world know that these app stores like to release things when they want.
Okay, I'm on my end.
They'll
Jeff cut
probably
out
be
for a
released.
second, so I'll just check in to
Oh,
see. Sorry.
it'll probably be released. They'll be a little bit earlier than anticipated, which is fine because at least you'll be able to tool around with those for a little bit and theory craft and whatnot, just because of the way that app stores work.
Yeah. Jeff, you should read the comments there. There's
Oh,
one
let me
that's
see
pretty
here.
exciting
Okay.
that I think you're
I
gonna
just
like
put through an
seeing.
order for some invasion boxes at my new/old LGS, and I taught 3 people to play in the last 2 weeks after my move. I'll be missing the game, but many have. Wow. Devlin. Oh, I didn't even add you to the list, Devlin. I got to do
Yeah.
that.
Well, let's get Devlin added to the list. And while we're adding him to the
Yes.
list, let's also ask Devlin a question. What is his
Sure.
new/old LGS where he's building
Yeah.
a new community? Because I want to make sure that we give them a shout out. We always want to support the local game stores that support Genesis. So, Devlin, anytime you feel like it, just mention what town and what's the name of your store, and we'll promote it. Let people know that there's a cool store that's getting the pre-orders in for Genesis already. Also,
I
just
was going to say
to
this is the best part. Radio silence while we wait
yeah,
for an answer.
I'll just mention too, because not all the wholesalers have actually physically got the pre-orders up on their website yet, but it will be in a few days. For any local game stores out there who are wondering what the MSRP will be, hey, Cardboard Cohorts, welcome to the video. Oh, he's playing at Epic Adventure Games in California. That's one of the stores that reached out to us. I've actually talked to the via email or
Nice.
something like that with from Epic Adventure Games. That's awesome to hear. And I know that that store is a Southern Hobby one because they were one of the stores that said to
Mhm.
us that they were hoping we'd get in with Southern Hobby. So that worked out great for them. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
Uh,
well, like you said, right, Jason? We have coast to coast support now in the U.S. and Canada.
yeah, yeah, I'm very excited about that. It's great because it just makes it that easy. If most stores already have an account with the suppliers we happen to be with, then it's like they can just add the boxes to their weekly order with whatever else they want. There's no extra work for them. So we definitely got into the distribution channels we were really hoping for, the premium ones that almost everybody deals with. What I wanted to say, just as a general note for people out there, because like I was in the middle of saying, not all the distributors have the pre-orders up yet. They should be going up in the next week or so because things are just getting entered into databases and whatnot. But if any of the Genesis fans out there are really excited about it and can't wait for their stores to get their pre-orders in, one thing you can let your local game stores know is that the MSRP for booster boxes is going to be $120 Canadian, which I believe is 95 American, if I remember off the top of my head right. So just that way, if stores want to go ahead, because they know that they already have accounts of people that they can pre-order the boxes from, if your local game store wants to be able to start taking pre-orders, you can let them know that that's what the MSRP is going to be, is 120 or 95 USD. So then they can figure out if they want to be rated at the MSRP or a little above or below. So
Mhm.
no harm in sharing that info now, just to let them know, because I know
Yeah.
some stores are getting really well. I've had one of our local stores in our area has been asking me, when can I start taking pre-orders, and I'm like, well, technically you could do it now, because I'll just tell you what the MSRP is. So it feels good to get that info out as well. So it's very, very real now. Like, stores are taking pre-orders, and contracts are getting signed, and things are getting printed in printers and shipped. So
Oh, yes.
lots of things are
Andrew's
getting
looking for some
printed and shipped.
calculations here, so I'm going to do a little bit of quick math for him.
Okay.
15 times, whoops, 15 times 24. You're getting 360 cards in a box, Andrew.
Yeah, because
Cardboard
24
cohorts.
packs, right? So
24 packs, 15 cards. 16th card is the, what are we calling those? Subconscious card.
yeah.
So there is 16 cards in a pack, but 15 playable cards. So you get that extra bonus card in there. 360 main timeline cards.
What slot does champions fall into? Do they fall into the subconscious slot or a different slot?
Nope. Champions are falling into the 15th slot. That way you get a
Okay.
champion per pack.
Yeah,
I think
guaranteed,
that's
right?
the best way to do it. Yeah, you're guaranteed a champion. It'd be nice to get some of the special treatment ones we're getting. No secret rares, Damien, in the sense of like alt art type stuff, but we are pretty pleased with how some of our special treatments are going to turn out. If I'm not saying too much by saying that, I think, right, Jason? That's good
Yeah.
enough for now?
Oh,
Yeah,
I think they're going to feel very special, because this will be the first time
I
that
think
these
so.
particular treatments have appeared. It's something
Yep.
new and exciting. So,
Yes.
yeah, I think that's a very safe statement.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much for it because you have to have something surprising when you open up a pack.
Yeah.
I think at least. Yes, cardboard cohorts, 95 US, roughly. It's 120 Canadian. I can't remember what the exact exchange is at this point. But we did send that out to the distributors with the proper pricing on it. Jason's just giving a ballpark figure so that your local store can start placing pre-orders, because I know that's right about where the MSRP will be.
Yeah, well, and
We're
I
only
mean,
invasion champions.
we had to lock it in at the time.
Yes.
So, because we've already sent the sell sheets, and that's like physically printed and locked in.
Yep.
So, actually seeing it now, I'm double checking. I just pulled the document up on my screen, and the MSRP is $120 in Canadian, and it's exactly $100 in US funds. So that's
Ah,
what it is.
okay.
So and again, that's not a hard price that anyone has to sell it at. That's just the
Yep.
manufacturer's suggested retail price. So yeah, you can let your stores and states know that the MSRP is 100 US, and then most stores already
Well,
know where they like to price, either
and
above
at
or
this
below.
point, Jason, they can reach out to Southern Hobby probably and start getting some information from Southern Hobby on what their sale price to them will be and getting all their details they need. I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, I would definitely think that they would have those answers already, even if they don't have the product listed. Yeah, now, the one thing that I know as a local game store is sometimes, especially with bigger companies, because Universal's a very big distribution company in Canada, sometimes not every customer rep who deals directly with the stores knows every game all at once. Different reps will kind of focus on different things, because if they're working in cubicles near each other, they can always be like, "Hey, Bill, I got a Pokemon question. What's this?" And like they'll trade info. So it might take them a half hour to find the right person to get the info, but the info is
But they'll
there.
get it.
Yeah, I'm sure Southern Hobby will be able to give you a quick response back if you're a store as to what the exact selling price is going to be and things like that.
A couple of questions there I can answer in the chat right now. So for
Sure.
Damien, it's only invasion champions. As with the past releases, it's the new sets champions that are coming out in the
Yeah.
champion slot in invasion. And to answer cardboard cohorts question, there are 24 champions in a booster box. You will get one champion per pack.
Yeah.
There is a chance in those packs to get a extended full art champion or a foil champion. So those will be the variation in the champions in there.
Yeah. I assume the foil replaces the normal, right? There's no chance of
Yes.
getting. Yeah. Okay, that's
No.
good. That's
The
the way
the
you would
the
want
goal
it.
is so to the best of our abilities, because These processes are automated. Maybe it's a little inside baseball here, but the processes are automated for shuffling and mixing things. So to the best of our abilities, we're trying to make it so that packs are as variable as possible, and you won't be pulling a card and saying, well, I know this card is going to be next, sort of thing. There's no guarantees of it because it is an automated system. They do it through a calculation, and it's math that's well beyond my capabilities, but it is going to be as close as possible that they can get to as randomized as possible to give them as much variation as possible. So you're not opening a foil something and saying, well, this must be the next card in the slot. Oh, Duelist is here. I got to add him to the wheel.
Yeah. And yeah, cardboard cohorts, like we were saying a few minutes ago, you might have missed it, but I looked up the physical paperwork that we sent to the American distributors, and the price, the MSRP, the suggested retail price, is 120 for the Canadian ones and 100 USD for the American ones. That was based on the what would you call it? The exchange rate at the day that I was printing those and sending them out.
Cards in the set is our next question. Let me do the math on that quickly. Plus 7, 33, 7, including champions. There's 137 regular cards in the set. Each rare has a chance to be a extended art or a foil, and each champion has a chance to be an extended art or a foil. So there are 33 extended art rares, 33 foil rares, 7 extended champions, and 7 foil champions. So those will be the options. Janice is being very, very hopeful there with 1,330 cards, which I know is a typo, but I thought I'd call it out because why not?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not that many cards in the set. No.
No. Very, 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 very. No, it's not the word easy. It's very playable. Out of a couple boxes, you can get enough probably to play a very competitive deck. Yeah. But there is that chase collectible factor in these extended arts and foils that I know some people want. We really tried to work on that balance because me, Jason, and Janice are adamant that people need to play the game. So we wanted to keep it as playable as possible. As you know, we're following the same routine where rares become epics when they become extended art and foils. It's not unique. It's not a unique gameplay mechanic when you hit the epic level and the epic foil level, so that you can still get rare slot playables. And there's, again, 2 rares per pack, just like there was before. That's a great way to crack a pack, I think, having that.
Couple things. One, hi to Sam. Thanks for tuning in tonight, Samuel.
Oh, I can't add Sam. Never mind. I know you, Sam.
Yeah,
you can't add you to the list.
Can't add him. He's exempt from winning prizes. Another thing I wanted to say was to Mr. Alex Taiwan Alex, who's asking the question, will the foils curve similar to ones before? I mean, I don't think Jeff and I can really answer that yet, to be honest, because we haven't had any in our possession. It's kind of a wait and see. We're hoping that we picked the right one who has the secret sauce to make amazing, wonderful cards that never curve, but I don't know. Jeff, what do you know?
Layer of metal. It is a layer of metal in the card, the foiling, which does absorb and release moisture at different times, which really is what plays with it, depending on the factory it's made and whatnot. What I can say is I have foil cards in other games from this manufacturer, and they do not pringle. So that's that severe curling. Will they not curl at all? I can't guarantee, because it also depends where you live and the humidity levels. Now, we're up here in Canada where the humidity can be pretty intense at times, and these other card games have not, using the exact same printer and the exact same foiling and the exact same processes we're trying to use. But it's not a guarantee, again, because it does depend. If you ask some people that are much more in the know on the science side of things, they'll tell you that it really is dependent on where you are and whatnot. A lot of people solve the problem with those little silica absorbent packs, but I have not seen it happen with these cards from other games. Definitely not to the degree that regular foils from places like Magic or Genesis's past have curled, I should say, in the foiling. Because as you know, it's a problem across the board. It's 2 layers of material that just don't mesh well together. Let's see. I think we had a few questions come in. Let me see what happened here. No, fingers crossed. No, Pringles. Fingers crossed as well, John. And we're doing everything we can to make sure it's not. We did our research. We looked into the printers ahead of time. We've compared it to what's out there in the market, and it's not just samples we got from them, but actual full printed stuff that was done mass market printing from them so that we could compare to what's actually on store shelves. Because, you know, sometimes companies will put their best foot forward when it comes to samples and whatnot. And we wanted to try see what was coming from mass market. In older box sets, it was almost guaranteed we would get at least one of every card. Are we going the same concept in future box sets? I don't know how to answer that really, Damien, because we are randomizing them. There's 100, like
Which
I said,
they were
130
before
cards.
too, though.
Sure. It's 130 cards per set. You're getting 320 cards in 137 in a set. You're getting 320 in a box. Chances are you'll get one of each, but it's not a guarantee because of the randomization. But the odds are high that you'll get at least one of each common, probably multiples of those. You'll probably need another box to get all your rares, but there's no guarantee of that. That's not a calculation we can do, sort of thing.
We haven't changed
Dehumidifier, yes.
we haven't changed any math though in
No.
regards that the general experience in the past, at least for players in my store, it used to be that if a player wound up buying 2 booster boxes, generally speaking, they almost always got enough of all the cards that they wanted that they could build 2, maybe even 3 top tier decks just out of the 2 booster boxes. And we haven't
Yep.
changed any of the math on our end. So odds are good that that's still going to be the average experience. But obviously, like Jeff's alluding to with randomization, there might be a case where somebody gets an even better fate and maybe where somebody gets a little bit worse. It's random like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
The ideal situation is that I've seen happen is with the old boxes, which will be the same in the new ones, is you and a buddy split a box so you can each build a deck. Then you realize that you actually want to build 2 decks so you can play 2 different styles. So you go buy another 2 boxes. So that's what I've seen in the past. And at those price points, I'm not trying to oversell it, but at those price points, it's pretty reasonable, right? That's not breaking the bank for anyone who's in this market. I think those are very competitive price points.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. Cardboard Cohort stores his cards in a tough box with desiccant. Yeah, that's the absorbing silica, right? Are there plans for God boxes for invasions or future sets? Not for invasion. No God boxes there. Future sets are yet to be determined. We haven't gone that far yet when it comes to the printing part of it. We're in development still, so we want to get the development locked in before we move on to worrying about how that happens.
Yeah, I'm just one of 3 voices, but my opinion is if we wind up doing stuff like that in the future, it'll probably be on a very limited amount. Like you wouldn't want to do it every set because then it stops feeling special, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I think you probably only once every couple of years or something want to do something like that where there's some really random chance to open up a God box or God booster packs. Otherwise, it gets normal too quick otherwise. Hi,
I
Timothy.
personally am not a huge fan of those. Hi, Timmy. I'm not a huge fan of those, but of course, as you guys know from our live streams here and other communication, we do listen to the fan base too, and we want to make sure that it's what people want to open. So it's not just our opinions, but I do lean away from that. I like the idea of everyone having an equal chance. That may just be because I've never opened a God pack in any game, so I feel kind of left out on that front.
I did open one in Genesis way long ago on a
Mhm.
live stream when I was just a guy owning a store. And I got really excited. I got to admit, when you get that, it's pretty crazy feeling. So never say never.
No, and I'm not going to say never. I just know for invasion, it's not. I can tell you that that's not part of our plan for invasion, and we haven't talked about beyond invasion yet. What our plans are for those. Like Jason said, though, it does have to be few and far enough between so that it does feel special. If not, you fall into the trap of some packs now, some card games. You know you're getting a foil every time in a certain slot, and it doesn't feel special anymore. Not that the foils aren't beautiful, not that you don't want it. There's just no surprise to it. There's no, I don't know. There's no, I don't know the word for it, but you don't get that feeling of, oh my God, I got a foil sort of thing, right? The foils aren't special anymore. They're standard. It's why I stopped buying collector's boxes of Magic. Everything's foil. It's kind of boring. What's the app called earlier? It is not out yet, Mr. Alex. It is called the Champion Companion app. And I'm just going to finish my testing of it this week, and I'll push it out once it's available. I will be sharing it out to our socials, and everyone can log in and download. Test flight is currently open for iOS, because I can do that on iOS. So if you do have an iPhone, drop a message to hello@Edge of Exile, and I can invite you to the test flight of it. The Android app does not have that option right now. but it is going to go live within a week or so. So if you can just hold on, I'll get you the full version probably in about a week or so. Just need to tidy up a few loose ends on my side, and then we can push that out to be good to go.
Awesome.
Yep.
Shall we show some artwork tonight? We haven't even really
Oh,
talked
we
about
have
artwork
artwork
yet.
to show too. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
by all means.
I had
Yeah.
a minute to pick some artwork out today, and let me just say, damn, that is some fine art. Or perhaps I should say, Dom, that is some fine art.
Oh,
Let's check it
Dom,
out.
Jan, that's some fine art.
Dom
Yeah. Okay,
Yon,
let's see
that's some
that.
fine art. Let's check this out. Hopefully, I loaded the
Roll the
right
tape.
video. And we're back. So that art, for
Wow.
those of you who I'm sure most of you are aware, Damian was the principal artist for quite a while for the previous company, Haunted Castle Gaming. Has a really good legacy of directing the direction of the art and providing some key art in the past for Genesis. So pretty cool to show off some of his art in this upcoming set as well. Jeff, your thoughts?
Phenomenal artist. Yeah, he's a phenomenal artist. A great person too, if you've ever interacted with him. Like he's just a genuine, down to earth, like honest individual. Like he wears his heart on his sleeve. I've never seen him or heard him not be forthcoming with everything, which is great. He's been very kind to me, kind to others in the community. I know he's been to 2 of the World Championships, and it was a great experience. Everyone that met him and got to say hi to him. He extended an olive branch and went out to lunch with me and a few others while he was here in Toronto the last time, which was amazing. It's something he didn't need to do. Like at that time, who were we? We were just some people playing the game, but spent some time with us. It was awesome. And his art is second to none. Like he's doing some unrelated to Genesis now. He's doing some phenomenal stuff. He's got an art book. Jason, if he sent me pages, I would send them to you. You would be astounded with how phenomenal these things are. Like it just gets better and better every time he does work. He's kind of doing his own thing now. He's kind of leapfrogged everything, and he's doing his own projects now, which is just incredible. I can't wait to see his stuff in print. And as a fan of Genesis and his, I'll be happy to share that around everywhere because it's just incredible. As you can see there, and these are just a handful of drawings or a handful of paintings for Invasion he did because he was more on the directing the whole art side of it sort of thing. But yeah, I'm just stunned by it. Cardboard Cohort says Murta is pretty badass, and you know what? Seeing it there on screen in the frame, the purple coloring to it, the purple halo in the frame, just everything. Man, you're right. It does fit perfectly. It just works really, really nice all together like that. I'm so happy we have some of his artwork still to use for this set. It's just phenomenal. It's his is a career to watch. So do find him on socials and follow him. Let me see. Before I get to Andrew's next question, John mentioned something about companies revealing everything beforehand, so there's nothing special, which is part of the reason why we're not talking completely about everything, because we do want something to be special when it happens. I think it will be. I think Jason thinks it will be. I think Janice thinks it will be. So when you get your boxes, hopefully there's something special for everyone. Not incredibly special, but special enough. I think it's gonna make some people be very happy.
I mean,
Andrew, Cardboard Cohorts.
I think
Sorry.
when people get the first stuff for the new set, because it's a whole different direction for the game, I think that just alone is going to make this first set feel extra special. You know, we're kind of
Yep.
starting a new
Yep.
era for the game, a stronger, brighter future. And I actually mean brighter because we're purposely
Yep.
trying to brighten up the game and make it a little bit less doom and gloom. So I'm
Yep.
excited.
Well,
I think it will be special for a lot of people.
Case in point, I shared with Janice and Jason our slide deck for art direction, and we're going to be going over that over the next couple of weeks for what we're going to ask our artists for the next set. And part of it literally does say brighter, more vibrant, more better. That's the wrong way to put it, but just brighter and more vibrant. A lot of games we find lately are really leaning heavily into dark fantasy. And we don't want to lean into that dark fantasy because it's almost bordering on horror, right? You're getting a lot of eldritch horror stuff. It's fine to have an archetype in there, a piece of the color pie that way, but the whole set can't be like that. You do need to give a variance because people have different tastes, people have different opinions, and we need to satisfy most of those. And I think we're going to do a really good job of it going forward. Stuff we've been working on with the dev team leans that way heavily, and I think once we go through this slide deck, Jason and Janice, and finalize a few things there, I think we're going to start being very surprised by what our artists are able to come up with in the next set.
Feels like
Andrew
the potential is there for a lot of greatness. Sorry,
yeah.
That's all.
Jeff, as a comic book guy, could we potentially see some graphic novels for Genesis in the future? So our original plan was to get some comic book stories done. I think I was a little too optimistic. Thought we could get something done before Invasion came out, but that's not the case. But we will be targeting, with time allowing, stories between set releases. We don't want to take away from the set release, so I don't want to guarantee you a delivery date yet, because we want to make sure that we can focus on getting the sets out, because we are primarily a card game. We're a trading card game, a collectible card game. I've seen others in the industry, big and small, stumble when they've tried spreading too thin too quickly. So we want to make sure the game is out and in people's hands. And then as an accessory product, by all means, it'd be great to get something out there to draw in more people and to expand the story to people. Which, speaking of story, I hope people are keeping up. Chapter 2 is on the website now, and it's great. I'm really happy with the story and where it's going and how it's growing. It's very subtle, but it's got some stuff dropped in there that maybe leads to future things. Maybe you can figure some of it out. Jason's very masterful when it comes to crafting the overall story arc. He's really good at that.
That's very much a team effort. That is not just one person.
It is. But the overall story plan, I like where Jason's going with it. The collaboration of writing the story, yes, I think that's phenomenal. I've never done that before. Jason's never done that, and it's working out well.
It's really fun.
But I'm very happy where the story's going overall. Did I miss a few things here? Let me see. I want to see some Jeff alt arts in the set somewhere. Yes, John, one day probably. But I think I made it clear early on that this is not a Jeff show where we're out here to just promote my stuff. Maybe one day, yes, we'll get something special in there, here or there. But
you know where
right
I'd like
now,
to see? I'd like to see your alt arts not in a set though. I'd like to see maybe Jeff does some special alt arts every year for the World Championship or something like that. Something outside of a set. But like that could maybe that's a place, right? Like at the World Championship, everybody qualifies and gets into it.
Not a bad idea,
gets a really cool exclusive Jeff alt art. Because then every year Jeff could work on that, and that would be really cool. So you don't want a Jason alt art; it'd be a stick figure if I did it.
Well, it'll be a Jeff alt art of Jason. So Jason will be the character, and Jeff will draw it.
Yeah, Jeff can draw just about anything. Jeff did some really cool alt art to me the one time for our 5th anniversary of the store.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Oh, I didn't. It's my wallpaper on my computer at home. I see it every time I turn on the computer. I love it.
It was a little play on what's that movie called? European Vacation. Yeah, it was a little play on that. Yeah, it was. If you haven't seen it, ask Jason. He'll share it with you somewhere.
Yeah, it's
probably on one of my socials somewhere, my personal socials.
I loved it. But I've been a fan of Jeff's art for literally years now. So.
Yeah. Since shortly after we first met. So actually, as soon as you found out I was an artist. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It was great. It was it's very humbling. I can tell you that because I'm not used to that kind of attention. Honestly.
You say that, but lots of people love your art. Come on now.
They do, but I'm just not used to that kind of attention because I'm just
because your wife keeps you humble. That's all.
I'm humble.
He'd have a swollen head if it wasn't for the fact that his wife is constantly like, "You're not that good."
Yep.
Keeping
These people don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. I can't throw her under the bus. Honestly, no. She's very, very positive. I don't want to play that old card. She is very, very positive about everything and encourages me with all this stuff.
Of course she is. Look how lucky she is. right?
Oh, so great. Now my head's really going to swell. I'm not going to get out of this room.
She loves it when I say that all the time, right, Lori? You love it when I'm like, "Oh, you must
Yep.
be. I don't know how you're so. How did you get so lucky?" So little
Um,
inside baseball joke
cardboard
between me and his wife. So
cardboard cohorts is talking about invasion. He's looking more forward to metamorphosis, and I understand his point. He's mentioned it before, and he's 100% right. He wants to see our first venture into the game. So not being excited is not that he's not excited to see the set. Tell me if I'm putting words in your mouth, cardboard. But it's not that you're not excited to see the set. It's that you want to see our first foray into it, where we built from the ground up. So even though we did, I'll be honest with you, we did retest some of these cards. We did a little bit of rebalancing. It's not just redesigning the cards themselves. We did a little bit of work on this, on Invasion, to get it where we wanted it to be. A lot of work on the treatments of things. We totally revamped what those were. But the actual gameplay part of it, I totally understand your point, wanting to see Metamorphosis, which I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with Metamorphosis. Of course, I'll have to wait until you see it. But yes, definitely supporting Invasion as we go does help us get Metamorphosis out faster and closer to our vision.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be really fun when Metamorphosis comes out
Yep.
because Invasion. It actually worked out well. I would say that Invasion was at a near finished state of an original version because we got to customize it a bit, do our tweaks on it, and some general changes to the game that we thought would make it more visually appealing and things like that. It was a good warm up for diving in, and we learned a lot of stuff while we were doing that process. And like we learned what the pinch points are for timing. Like, oh, these things take a lot of time to work on. We got to allocate more time to that. And other things were really smooth and easy. And I love it because I feel like we actually got some good lessons and experience just from what we tried that worked and didn't work that now we're able to apply because we're already developing Metamorphosis. Everybody knows that we're hard at work at that. And I just can't wait because with
Yeah.
full creative freedom and nothing already locked in for that set, I think the story that we're going to tell is going to be really fun. Not that everybody cares about the story, but some people do. And I think the story is going to be really fun. And I think the gameplay and some of the mechanics that we're going to introduce, which I won't talk about at all for now, are going to be very well received. I really
I think
firmly
so.
believe people are going to love it. So
I,
this set is a great halfway mark during the transition, and the next set is where you're going to get the kind of full flavor of what we want to bring to the game.
I know we're months away from it, Jason, but I can't wait to reveal something from the new set and then talk about the mechanic of it
I think yeah, the
as like one
spoilers
of
are
our
going to be a
first
lot
things.
more
I just
fun.
can't wait for that. I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely think so. I can't wait for that. It's going to be very different. People really getting into it, sort of thing. I know someone posted something here. Oh, Andrew wants werewolf. So Andrew, any card you want, I will definitely draw a werewolf on it for you. Just mail it to me. I'll draw a werewolf, send it back to you. There, you got a werewolf
So,
card. If
some
it's an
nice alters.
official Genesis back, I'll alter it for you, and it's just like a regular card then. I know it's not a werewolf, but it'll look like a werewolf maybe.
There will down the line. There will definitely be werewolves in a set down the line for sure. All the really cool archetypes. Like you like vampires, you're going to see vampires. I mean, you have in the
Yep,
past. You like werewolves, you're going to see them. You
yep,
like giant fire-breathing lizards. I think we got a few of those kicking around.
yep. Yeah,
So
I'm actually hoping down the road we do like I don't want to say a dragon focused set, but I'd like to see an expansion on dragons, not just the handful that are there, right? Like I'd like to see something like that. I like that, but that's down the road. That's nothing that we're planning for the next set or the set after, sort of thing.
so you're
Those are
saying
still working.
you're looking forward to How to Train Your Dragon Jalara edition? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
We're
I
going
can't
to
think of a more clever response to that. So
discover an island just filled with dragons, and then like, oh,
all I can think of is dragons and some sort of hoarding mechanic, which isn't anything I've thought of other than the word. So dev
yeah.
team, that's for you guys to figure out what hoarding means. But I'd like to see that as a keyword. So you're gonna have to figure that out somehow.
Jeff
uh,
mumbles a little bit too. So to be clear, there's a D in the middle of that word. Yes,
yeah, hoarding, like
ding.
dragons
Yes,
hoard
yes, that's right.
gold and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey,
Damien
Jerome's
asked about.
here. Oh, sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
let me add Jerome to the
Yeah.
thing then. I'll add Jerome. Um, Jerome. Damien was asking about Future League. We don't have any plans right now to start back up Future League, um,
At the moment,
or
all
custom
of our
testing.
testing is being done internally for now.
Yes. Yeah.
We were able to test everything to do with invasion internally, mainly because some of that work was already done. We
Yeah.
might have to bring in outside people for testing for metamorphosis, but we're not there yet. So when it comes time for something like that, if we feel the need, we've got some people on what would you say, quick dial or standby that we can call, reach out
Yep.
to help. So
Yep. Yeah,
lots of
there's
people have
no
been
plans to
very
relaunch a
helpful.
full open play test like it was for Future League
Right.
at this
Yeah.
point. I don't think it. I think it kind of did a disservice in the end, but that's just my personal opinion. And well, it's not just mine; it's few people's personal opinion that it didn't really
I
jive the
share
way it
that.
should have. It could have been run
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I agree.
So until we're in a position where we think we can run it properly, it's going to stay internal with the smaller testing group that that we've got, like Jason said, waiting in the wings for when we're ready for that.
Yeah.
Let's see what else was here. We got a new symbol or two as well, along with the new frames. Yes, we did, John. John's right. We've got a discard card symbol, and we've got a remove counter symbol, which are new, as we try and streamline the text-heavy nature of this game, because this game does have a lot going on. There's a lot written on each card. Case in point, when we're talking about bringing in cards from the subconscious and whatnot, it's a very rules-specific thing that. For example, in another card game like Magic, you can say bring in a 1/1 zombie with this ability. You can't do that in this game. You have to bring in a card that has all of this text on it. And if you have a card that creates that, you can't put all that information on that other card. So your subconscious has to literally have that card with that text in it. So we're trying to streamline some of the stuff where we can, like discard and remove counters. Right now, that's where we're going. We're trying not to change everything over in a 180 overnight. So we are slowly adding in this iconography to simplify the text read of it. Easier to scan, sort of thing.
Yeah, I would think that there'll be a couple minor changes, improvements, tweaks like that over the next couple sets. Because if you do it all at once, then even for the experienced players, it's just too much to process. So we'll keep introducing icons and things like that as we go slowly over time, if there's needs for more change. Because you don't want to be too distracting with, wait, how does this card work?
Yeah, if you have a card that's full of 14 different icons and 3 words, it's a little bit worse. You've gone too far the other direction.
Yeah.
You
Baby
do need
steps.
to
Baby
spell it out a
steps.
little
We'll
bit.
get there
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah. Yeah. John is on hoarding. He's going to figure something out,
Nice.
and he's pretty good at that sort of thing. So John's got
That's
it,
good.
figuring it out. Maybe 3-4 sets from now, John. So you got a little bit of time.
Oh yeah.
Cardboard cohorts is always around if we need help. He doesn't have skills, but he's always here. He does have skills. He's lying. He's a very, very skilled individual and very humble. A little too humble, actually. He's a very, 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 very skilled person. He's got a lot of knowledge he shares when he can, and is very helpful for anyone who doesn't know him. What are we? We're pushing up close to 8 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions we have? I mean, people can drop them in the chat. We can run do we want to run the spoiler video one more time? Because that art was amazing and maybe it needs a second run through while people think about questions. And then we can do the wheel. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, we'll run the video. That way, if anyone wants to get a comment in while the video is playing, they'll have time.
Yep.
Jeff will be watching the chat and he'll make sure everybody gets entered for the draw for the prizes. That'll be happening right when we get back. Sound good, Jeff?
Sounds great to me.
All right, we'll be back and we'll give Jerome a short recap of the show right after as well. So we'll be back with that
for sure.
in just about a minute. back, everybody. So those are some
It's awesome.
artworks featured in this current or upcoming set done by Damian, who again has a
Mhm.
great history and legacy with the artwork in Genesis, and we appreciate his contributions. For Jerome, who wanted a short recap of the show, we started off tonight just chit chatting with everybody, talking about how pre orders are going to be basically starting at local stores all across North America pretty soon because we're only 9 weeks away from Invasion releasing in stores. Some of the wholesalers that stores buy from don't have it fully listed yet because they're still like putting it all into databases. But I did share with anybody who's watching tonight that if you're a local a Genesis player in Canada, you can let your game stores know that the MSRP for Invasion is $120 Canadian. So some stores always price a percent or two above or below MSRP. So if you share that info, they can probably figure out what they want their price to be and let you start taking pre-orders now. And if you're in the States, the MSRP is going to be $100 USD for booster boxes for this first set. Same idea. If you're a game player in the States and Southern Hobby isn't quite taking the pre-orders yet, you can let your store know what the MSRP is, and they can still take your order now and get you in the books. And then definitely, I want to reiterate something I said last week because it's really, really helpful. Is if you can get your local game stores to reach out to their supplier, either Universal in Canada or Southern Hobby in the States, and just let them know now that like the store has customers who want to pre-order, that would be great because both those two distributors still have another couple weeks to increase their order if they choose for what they're going to order in their first wave from us. And just the more demand that they know there is for Genesis in the next 2 weeks, the more likely that they'll place a big enough pre-order that everybody in your country, either Canada or the States, will be able to get all their pre-orders fulfilled on release day. So now's a great time to get your local game store to just do a little bit of an email or a phone call, and it'll help a lot.
And you mentioned that store that was mentioned earlier. I forgot the name already. I'm really bad with
Epic,
names, if you
it's
recall. The one in
Epic something.
California?
Epic Adventure Gaming, I want to say is the third word in it.
In California. Yep.
Yeah,
Someone's got a pre-order in there already.
yeah, that's right, which is awesome. And that was
Yep.
a store that had reached out to us directly a few weeks ago, and they were one of the
Mhm.
stores. Yeah, Epic Adventure Games in California. That's right. That store, Epic Adventure Games, had reached out to us a few weeks ago, and they had specifically said, if you can, try and get in at Southern Hobby because that's our favorite place to order from. Which is the case that week when we were talking about it. There were a lot of people in the chat here on the live stream that were saying, "Yeah, my store orders from Southern Hobby too." So the fact that Genesis Invasion is coming out and the starter decks and everything else in Southern Hobby is amazing because like these stores know they can just add it to their normal weekly order with no extra muss or fuss and get the products delivered. So we have our products right where we're hoping. So yeah,
Yep.
definitely,
And
as John Rayner saying in the chat, have your
yep.
friendly local game store contact their account manager today. It's a good
Yep.
line, John.
Yep.
Good
For
line.
sure. That's great. And Timmy, that one we were talking about is in California. It was just mentioned earlier on in the chat. So if you're in the California area, I don't know specifically where they are, but you could
I've got
reach out to them.
I've got them on Facebook. I'll look it up real quick
Oh, there we go. Okay.
and I'll tell you
Uh,
exactly what town it is.
Devlin had to leave and asked us, told us we could take him off the wheel, but I am not going to take him off. He was here. He did speak up. So by all
Yeah, we
means,
can
they
send the
can.
prize later.
Yeah. You lost my face. I don't know if you did that on purpose, Jason. I think my face disappeared.
Oh, sorry. It's because I pulled it up. Scotts Valley Game Store. I will.
Just want to make sure it didn't cut my audio and all that stuff and that everyone's
No, you're
confused
good.
now.
Yeah, Scotts Valley, California. That's the town that Epic Adventure Games is in. Sorry, if I bring up a
Okay.
separate window, I forgot for a moment that it cuts off your camera feed on the live stream. I apologize.
Okay. So now you can do it on purpose whenever you want. That makes sense. I like that. Just some advice from Cardboard Cohorts. Play at your LGS. We played a couple weeks ago and had about 6 people come over to watch and ask about the game. Hopefully, the next couple of months we can grow more interest. Well, and this is why we also made
Wow.
the play mats, because when you walk into a store and you see these oversized play mats that say Genesis on it with a grid, you go,
Yeah.
well, what's that? Because it is
It's
different.
very
It does stand out.
eye-catching. Yeah.
Very, very much so.
I'm confused
Uh,
though. I
yeah.
didn't think Cardboard Cohorts had a local game store in his area, or is it just that he didn't have one that was playing Genesis before?
I believe they didn't carry Genesis, so he was able
Oh,
to play
okay.
it there, but the distribution wasn't there to get the game to him.
Oh,
If I
right.
recall correctly, he'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think I
Probably,
know him
yeah.
well enough to remember that part of the story.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that he actually got a chance to go into his local game store and play it. That's really cool. And hello to Jalarian Tiger, just
Yeah,
lurking for
JT
now.
to the wheel.
It's good to see you. We'll get you in for the prize draw. Oh, you have 3 stores in
Uh,
your area. Oh, well, that's good to hear, Cardboard Cohorts. Nice.
little more recap too. There was we will have hopefully by sometime next week a couple apps available. This one here is your
Yes.
Android app. You pick your champion, and you can adjust your aura and your life. And if I go to the next one, you have the iOS app that
Yep.
lets you pick your champion as well. And again, you can adjust the auras and the life.
And both
So those
versions
should be
of that
available in
app
the next
have
couple of
all
weeks.
the new champions. So
They currently don't, but they will. On
they
the
will when it
update
comes out.
coming
Yeah.
closer to release, we'll have all the new champions, and it's going to have everything from Oni to no, sorry, it's better if I say everything from Alta to Yuvon because alphabetically, that's what they are. Yuvon's the last, and Alta's the first. So
We
actually,
got
no,
to
I'm sorry. I think they do have them right now. Hold on, because
we
yeah,
got to make Zafar into a champion so that we can go from Alta to Zafar.
your dial's in there, so
You dial.
we do have them all in there. We do have all the new ones
Nice.
in there as well. Yep, everything's in there, ready to go. So when it's pushed live, you will have the new champions in there. So if you've been theory crafting, printing proxies yourself to of champions just to play around a bit and think of ideas, they'll be there for you to use in the app.
For Cardboard Cohorts, we've actually been talking to a few local game stores that mainly only do tabletop gaming, who are interested in maybe bringing Genesis in as that cool gateway product between tabletop
Mhm.
and the collectible
Yep.
card game market. So I could
Yep.
totally see that. That's been our experience too, is that a lot of people. Oh, there's Janice with the mat behind me. There's our new playmat. Yay! But yeah,
Oh, it's on a delay for me. I didn't see it, but yes.
yeah, we that's what we've been doing is a little bit of marketing that way too, because you're right, tabletop gamers like Warhammer and other games like that, they generally see a good appeal in this game. So I'm
Mhm.
excited because I think it's going to bring some gamers from different types of gaming together in one common game that they can enjoy, which would be neat.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's great. Um, what else was in our recap? The 9 weeks, the app.
Yeah,
We showed the video again, so they got to see that. Um,
it might be
I
time to
think
give
we
away some
touched upon everything.
prizes. I think
Oh, I
I
forgot
think
about the prizes. I've been working on this wheel,
I think
and
it
I
might be your
forgot. Let
time to
me
shine, sir. Get that wheel
let me
up
go
there.
through the names. Make sure we're not missing anybody. So on this list, I have Damien, Jason, Mr. Fish, Mr. Alex, John, Devlin, Cardboard Cohorts, Duelist, Timmy, Jerome, and JT. I'm going to give people a minute or so to see if anyone's missing from the list. Do a shout out in the chat, and I will add your name to the list.
Yeah.
Um,
And then what's the prize
yeah.
again for tonight?
Tonight is a pack of Welcome to Jalara.
Nice.
So we're going to bounce around a bit like this between a little bit of a lot and a lot of bit of a little sort of thing, if
Yeah,
that makes sense to you.
sure.
So just to mix it up a little bit. I don't want to give away the same stuff all the time. And hopefully not this John. No. Well, you are on there, John, but if you win it, you don't get it. That's all. Plain
Yeah,
and
someone
simple.
else gets it.
Actually, Jason had a great idea, and if it does land on John, we will add another Welcome to Jalara pack and re-roll
I
it.
like it.
So
I like
if it
that way
hits John,
everybody's cheering for
we double
John.
it.
I like it.
Yeah,
So
everyone
yeah,
wants John to win, so that means they win too.
yeah. I like that a lot. I think that's fun. Then John
Yep,
gets to
and I like,
play.
yeah, yep, and I like the idea of giving away the older stuff like that. So that's something great. Okay, let me see if I can switch over to this wheel of what did John call it? Wheel of morality,
Morality. I'm sure that
something
your
like that.
transfer to the wheel will go perfectly smooth because this was the week where everything worked right for a change. So
Let's see. Go live with my wheel name picker. Did it work?
yeah, it
Do you see
did.
it?
It did. You're good. This
All
is the week
right.
of everything
So
working out.
let's shuffle this up a bit. All those names are randomly shuffled. We're gonna spin, and let's see where this ends up. Oh! It was almost that, John. You guys almost doubled it. It's Jalarian Tiger, our own
Jalarian
JT.
Tiger.
Yep,
Right on. Very cool.
that is awesome. Congratulations, Jalarian Tiger. I think you know the drill by now. Shoot a message over to hello@Edge of Exile, and we will get your prize out to you promptly.
And let me just make an apology because I will be fully honest. I haven't had a chance to ship any prizes recently. Um, Jeff knows this, but outside of Genesis, my local game store has been going through a bit of a rough time, and I've been just working my tail off trying to keep things going. I'm working by myself. I don't have any staff at the moment, so I'm basically doing about 70 hours a week between that and Genesis. So I'm really sorry that I haven't got them. I'm hoping maybe tomorrow or Wednesday I'll get to ship out all of them. It's just I'm kind of being run ragged. So,
Yep. No, and I think that's understandable too. I mean, if it becomes a problem, let us know, people. But I don't think it has been. I think we're still pretty timely considering how some other giveaways work and go and whatnot.
oh,
So,
and everybody's going
uh,
to get their stuff. We're
no,
keeping track of it
oh
all.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
just I
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
done it yet.
That's right. Yeah. Yep, yep. But we've got it all packaged up or getting packaged up and getting ready to go. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of. I believe, actually, it's funny enough, Jason. I believe in the States there are a lot of places that do. Correct me if I'm wrong, people from the U.S., but your postal service does pickup, not just like UPS or FedEx pickup,
Oh,
but
wouldn't
like
that be
your
nice?
USPS does pickup. In Canada, Canada Post does not do pickup. You have to bring it to a Canada Post location to mail. You can put it in, if it's a regular letter mail, you can just send it in a mailbox somewhere, but they do not come to pick up at your place of business. I do believe USPS in the US does do that. You can arrange to be picked up, which is a
And
great
that's
thing for you guys, but we don't have that luxury.
Yeah, and that's part of my struggle is I wind up getting into the store very early in the morning, and I usually work until very late at night in the store. So it's the fact that nobody can pick it up for me, or drop it off at the post office. That's been
Yep,
most of the hindrance. So, but we'll get
yep,
that taken care of this week.
yep,
I'll have my
for sure.
executive assistant over there take them down for me one day.
The funny thing is he's looking at a mirror because the executive assistant is himself.
Oh, and Jana says in the chat she went to drop something off today, and they were closed before they're supposed to be.
Of course they were.
So that
Yep.
sure
You know
doesn't
what?
help either, right? You rush over after your job ends at 5 to get there for quarter after, and they're already gone.
I'll be honest with you. We are still feeling the remnants of um, COVID lockdown, shutdowns, and employment issues. There are
Yeah,
stores that have signs still that say closed early due to lack of staffing. We have a
yeah,
lot of
there's
that going on still. It's very, very common.
yeah,
I don't know
especially
how it
up
is in your
here.
areas, but it's common here. Oh yes, especially in your area. But even
Yeah,
down here where I am, it's still quite clear when there's not enough staff there, and they put signs up because there just isn't the staff.
yeah.
Cardboard cohorts, always the voice of reason. Look, it's free. What do you want from them? Like, no, it's true, but we do want to make sure people understand that we are going to get the stuff out to them because there's
Yeah,
nothing worse than being promised something and thinking you're not getting it, but you are. It's just a matter of timing, and it will get there.
yeah.
Oh, and actually, yeah, today places are closed for Truth and Reconciliation Day. That's true too, actually. Yeah, a lot of federal places and even some non-federal are closed for Truth and Reconciliation.
Oh, that's why the post office would have been closed for you then. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which ironically enough, it should be open today so that you can observe it and learn about it. Because I found that weird when they close things and then you don't get to learn about the reason why there's a holiday and people just
Yeah,
think it's a day off work, which defeats the whole purpose of Truth and Reconciliation. If like these people aren't staying home and watching videos and learning about what the day is about, they're taking a day off. They should be learning about why we have these moments to reflect on our past.
that's right.
Yep.
All right.
I don't have anything else, Jason. Do you or
Yeah.
Janice have anything else?
Janice, anything you want to talk about? She says no.
No. Okay, so
Actually,
talk to your LGS. Oh,
she's
sorry.
got her headphones on, so she probably hasn't even heard me ask her yet. But
Okay. Well, like
no,
Jason
there we go.
said,
Now she
talk
says
to
no.
LGS. Oh, okay, now she does. No. Okay. Like Jason said, talk to your LGSs. Tell them
Yeah,
Invasions is ready to go. They know their price points of where they want to be. I'm sure some of them will even take partial. Like just I know my LGS would always take your name down, put in the pre-order, and then all the payments came after. So
yeah,
the rough price point. You know what's coming in at. They can give you a ballpark figure. If you're spending $100 on a box, $5 one way or the other isn't going to matter. But you talk to your LGS about it ahead of time. The distributor should have their numbers in hand, so they just have to finalize things. So I think we're ready to go. 9 weeks, Jason.
yeah,
Janice, 9 weeks.
yeah.
Everyone out there, 9 weeks. That's it.
And the
It's
more
unbelievable.
stores that reach out to distribution right now, the bigger and better it's going to be. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
definitely, if you can talk your local game store into just reaching out to let them know that an order will be coming in at the distribution level, that'll help because they still have about 2 weeks left before they have to lock in their final numbers with us. So try and make sure that everybody understands that there's a big demand because that's only going to
yeah,
help us all grow. So
for sure. For sure.
I guess that's about it for
That's
tonight,
awesome.
right, Jeff?
That's it for me. Everything's done from my compound. everything's done from your compound, and
Yeah, I think we're
I
good.
hope you guys
Janice, you
all have a
want to
great week.
come say hi to everybody? You're so close to the camera now. Come on, Janice, say hi to everybody. Come on.
Oh, they're asking Jason if North of Exile is taking pre-orders. Are you
North of
taking
Exile.
pre-orders for it?
Yeah, North of Exile is going to begin taking pre-orders on our website Wednesday, 2 days from now. I wanted
Ooh,
to wait until we talked about it live tonight, just to make sure that people know that if they haven't, the stores haven't heard the MSRP from the suppliers yet, we're telling them publicly, so that I didn't want to be unfair and let my store take pre-orders before anybody else knew
yep.
that info. So now that we're getting the MSRP info out so that stores can figure out the pricing, yeah, we'll start taking pre-orders on Wednesday here at our
Actually,
store.
that's pretty good. You're also not taking the orders immediately, not day and date. You're giving others a chance to get in there, which is great.
I don't
But
want
that
to.
means
I
I got
don't.
to wait till Wednesday. I got to wait till Wednesday to get my pre-orders in with you, right?
Jeff, what are you talking about? You actually know that you still have a pre-order from the old company. I'm going to
That's
literally
right.
fulfill your old pre-order with our new
No,
product.
seriously?
Yeah, I'm going to do that on live stream when the release date comes out. If you're up here, I'm going to fulfill
Oh,
your
that's
original
hilarious.
pre-order from when Haunted Castle Gaming ordered it with the new product that technically you helped make. And I think that's going to be awesome.
That is
It's
hilarious.
probably one of the only
That's great.
pre-orders that still exists from the old system. Like I'm sure other stores just
Maybe
deleted them, but I kept it this whole time out of hope that someday I'd be able to fulfill that pre-order, and it's going to happen, buddy. So
It was about 15 boxes, if I'm not mistaken, right? Not two. I think it was 15, if memory
I
serves.
thought it was two, but you know what? I know the owner. If you want 15,
You
maybe
know
we
the
can work
owner.
out a deal. So I'm very
Oh,
excited
that's
about
awesome.
that.
That's great. Yeah,
And yeah, so for
great.
Jerome or anybody else, if you want to order from North of Exile Games, you'll be able to visit our website on Wednesday, and we'll be taking pre-orders. But just on a matter of principle, I did not want our local game store to do anything before other stores get a chance. I very, very, very much want to support all the local game stores out there that support Genesis. So that's important to me.
Well, make sure any game store that you know that is putting up pre-orders, if they're sharing on social media, tag our Facebook group in it, and we will be sure to reshare that so that that is available to everyone.
Oh
We want
yeah,
to promote that as much as possible because I know when you put it up, Jason, I'm going to reshare it to the Genesis feed, and if any
yeah,
other LGS puts theirs up, we'll share them to the main Genesis feed because we want to make sure everyone can pick from the store that's closest to them or the store they want to support the most.
yeah, yeah. It's a shame Devlin's already gone, but if
F5,
Devlin
F5,
watch,
yeah.
it's a shame Devlin's already gone. But if he comes back and watches the rest of the live stream later, Devlin, ask your game store at Epic Adventure Games to put up a post on social media and tag us, and I
Please.
will make definitely sure that the Genesis brand promotes that all around. Because again,
Yep.
we really want to support the local game stores that support
Oh yeah,
Genesis.
for sure, for sure. That's where it all happens. It happens. The arenas are at the stores. That's where
Yeah,
it happens.
absolutely. Well, this has been a really
Well, this
great
has been
stream.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Look, we're even
Had a
thinking
great
the same
time.
thing, Jeff. That's awesome. It's been a lot of fun. We
Oh,
answered a lot of cool questions tonight. We're
yes.
getting to talk about cool, fun stuff. Next week, we'll be 1 week closer to Invasion, hopefully with more official, cool stuff to talk about. Like, hopefully, the wholesalers will be officially taking the pre orders. We'll
Yes.
keep everybody up to date on stuff like that. But let's just keep sharing the hype train. Also a little thing, if anybody's watching, noticed Genesis put up a little like almost like a commercial video on Facebook today. One that I worked pretty hard on. I think it turned out good.
I like it.
Feel free to like and share that kind of stuff too, just to build the hype and let people know that there's this cool game that's got its seventh set coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that cool?
It's
I'm
awesome.
excited about that.
Yeah,
Lucky
yeah,
number
that's great.
7, first one of a
Lucky
new
number
era.
7. Oh yeah, great.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been a
Thank you,
blast.
everyone.
On behalf of the beautiful Janice on my side, his name is Jeffrey. My name is Jason. It's been a blast. Take care, and we'll see you out there in the arena. Goodbye, everyone.